We have been given the scientific knowledge, the technical ability, and the materials to pursue the exploration of the universe. To ignore these great resources would be a corruption of a God-given ability.
It is July 20th, 1969, and man is about to land on the moon.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
I think we're at the dawn of a new era, and I think it's going to be very exciting. What we're hoping to do with SpaceX is to push the envelope and provide a reason for people to be excited and inspired to be human.
If we can go to Mars and drill, because there's liquid water underground on Mars, reach the groundwater, there could be life there now.
I mean, the long-term aspiration is to develop the technologies necessary to transport a large number of people and cargo to Mars in order to create a self-sustaining civilization there.
The moment you see the Earth from space, you realize that the only way we're going to become a truly spacefaring civilization, which means a civilization that becomes effectively immortal. Right? If you can begin to move off your home planet, then the possibilities are infinite. But you've got to do it.
We're going to look back at 2020 as a year that everything changed.
You know, there are American heroes who don't like this idea. Neil Armstrong, Gene Cernan have both testified against commercial spaceflight and the way that you're developing it, and I wonder what you think of that.
I was very sad to see that, because those guys are, those guys are heroes of mine, so it's really tough.
All those dreams of science fiction, like being able to take your vacations around the rings of Saturn and like all the private space stations, all that kind of stuff that we grew up hoping would happen when we were older, I think it's really finally starting.
We know that Mars has water frozen into the poles, but to actually see liquid water on the surface of Mars, that is tantalizingly close to the building blocks of life.
Well, we've always known that Mars once had water because of the evidence writ large on its surface. So you have riverbeds that are dried, and they're meandering riverbeds and river deltas and floodplains, and it has a lot of the sort of surface features that you might see flying over the Midwest of the United States.
We've long suspected that we're not alone in the universe, but we've never seen evidence. People imagine UFOs all the time. In all of our movies, the science fiction, E.T. and all that, we don't think we're alone. We maybe believe we're not alone, but we've never actually proven anything beyond the fact that we are alone.
Are we what life is, or are we just one example drawn from a much vaster tapestry of possibilities? This is real science. This is fundamental questions that thinking men and women have wondered about for thousands of years.
We know something about the history of Mars now, quite a lot about the history of Mars. And it's certainly clear that there was water, almost certainly oceans, rivers. And that water is almost certainly still there.
We are incredibly busy, and I think landing on a comet, going by Pluto, finding an ocean of water on one of the moons of Saturn, and now finding liquid water on the surface of Mars, I think they show just how active and successful we are in space exploration.
There have to be reasons that you get up in the morning and you want to live. Like, why do you want to live? What's the point? What inspires you? What do you love about the future? And if we're not out there, if the future does not include being out there among the stars, and being a multi-planet species, I find that it's incredibly depressing if that's not the future that we're going to have.
Mars is the closest planet that has on it all the resources needed to support life and therefore civilization. If we do what we can do in our time, to establish that little Plymouth Rock settlement on Mars, then 500 years from now, there'll be new branches of human civilization on Mars, and I believe throughout nearby interstellar space.
The argument I actually find most compelling is that it would be an incredible adventure I think it would be the most inspiring thing that I could possibly imagine. And life needs to be more than just solving problems every day. You need to wake up and be excited about the future and be inspired and want to live.